Yay! Thank you, Jake. Hello, folks. Testing the sound as per normal. Can you hear me? We've just been trying some new functionality, which actually seems to be working pretty well. So Dylan's got slide access, so that's cool. Jake has upgraded things. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Deborah. Awesome. I can see people are coming on. Who have I never spoke to? Say me. If I've never met you in real life, if I've never had you on the screen, who have I never spoken to is willing to say hello in person before we're at start time? Someone be brave. Joanna, have we met? Anushka? Someone say me. And it's some of you I know. Sebastian. Anyone willing to be on the screen? Come on, be brave. It's for like 2 minutes. Anyone willing to give it a go? Just going to start inviting people. Anushka.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just getting over a cold.
I can't see you. I've just got an ominous shape. Do you have a camera there?
I do. It doesn't seem to have switched on.
Okay, we'll voice a disembodied voice in the background. Where are you in the world? Remind me.
I'm in Watford.
Watford.
So
for those of you who don't know, if you live in London, Watford is considered the end of the world. It's the sort of northern. It's just north of London, and civilization stops just north of there, I believe.
Yeah, anything outside the M25, I think, is the game on that one.
Done. And how have you gone with Yellow Belt? Because we're like, I'm gonna like cheer and shout in a minute, but we're like officially at the end of Yellow Belt, and it's been pretty full on for most people. How have you been finding it?
I really enjoyed this week. Last week I found a bit more difficult, but I really enjoyed this week. It's been really good. I've been really enjoying it, loving all the videos, loving our catch-ups with my group. We're quite a chatty group. Yeah, it's all good.
Good. Well, it's nice to hear your voice. I'm trying to kind of get to know people a little bit. You know, it's a big group, and some I know really well, some not much. So it's cool to chat to you for a little bit, Anushka.
Nice to chat to you
too. Any questions before I go back to the group?
I don't think so at the moment.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See, that wasn't so scary, was it? Sebastian. Are you there, sir? Who else is doing this? Margaret. Hello, Margaret. Matt. Hello, Matt. Andy. Smidar. You're probably Alice. Hello, Alice. Oh my God, computers and passwords are the death of me. Hey, Joanna, can I get you on the screen? Nope. Fair enough. It's a clear decline. Hello, Andy. Yeah, guys, let's keep it interactive again. Hi, Andy. It's nice to know you're there and you're kind of tuned in and listening. Hello, Sebastian. How are you doing?
I'm good, right? Yeah, all right.
Yeah? Where are you in the world?
I'm in Seaford.
Not far away then?
Nah, just down the road, really, yeah.
I went for a walk along the seafront today for quite a couple of hours. It was beautiful. It doesn't feel like October at all.
In Seaford?
Well, I was in Brighton, but it's not far away. So
yeah, it's good.
I imagine it was also sunny there.
Yeah, and I'm holding out for summer until the end of October, huh? Like everyone's.
Well, I turned my heating on just now because it's. I think it is gonna. Everyone else, you know, is going. All the non-Brits are going. Oh, look at these British people talking about the weather.
Yeah. No, I had my heating on a couple of times over the weekend as well, and everyone's going. Hey, winter's coming. I'm stubbornly holding out for end of summer at the end of October till the end of October.
And how's your Yellow Belt experience been, sir?
It's been really good. I'm behind this week, and catching up tonight and tomorrow. So this week feels like there's been lots going on, and the kata has been the big revelation as a daily practice for me. I'm loving that practice every morning, focusing my energy. It's been awesome.
Great. That was the intention, that people would have something to really focus them in every day, briefly but powerfully. And if you like that, you're going to love Dylan, because embodiment, that's his thing as well as mine. So that's really, you know, some of the movements in there, the kata actually come directly from Dylan's stuff. You know, I checked in with him before doing it, because I was like, look, this is really influenced by you, some of it. So, yeah. Listen, we've got 1 minute before the official start, so it's nice to see you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, and loads of appreciation. Thanks.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Okay, so hello, lots of hellos from people. I'm aware we're a fairly kind of British group in some ways. I mean, certainly not exclusively. Catherine, what's the stats? We're like 50-60% British. If you ever want a holiday in Britain, those of you who are in Hungary and Israel and other places, you're almost certainly going to have places to stay now. Brighton's nice in the summer, but yeah. Okay, it's just hit 7 o'clock. We got 22 active, which is good. That means people are still coming to these calls, which is what we wanted. Super, super. So welcome. First of all, and I want to hear it from wherever you're around the world, we are completing Yellow Belt. You may have a couple of little things still to do to send to Catherine. Chill out. Don't worry. We're not going to be heavy about it. We really hit you with a lot of work. We started strong. I think next year's group we might do a little bit less work, because the feedback we had was it was pretty hardcore. But you know, also like, hey, you've paid your money. It's lots there if you want it. So yeah, let me first of all, let's give ourselves a round of applause for getting to the end of the Yellow Belt section. Woot woot. Okay. Yeah, seriously, guys, really well done. You've stuck it out. I think all but one person has stuck it out of 42 original people coming on the course, which is fantastic. If you're one of the people that are a little bit behind, don't worry. Just keep talking to Catherine, having that conversation. It's all good. You know, we're not going to be heavy about it. We just want to make sure you're continuously engaged. It's not about being perfect or doing everything, just that you're really engaged. And Catherine is nice, and she will support you if you need a week off. I know some of you got heavy stuff going on in your lives. It's all good. So personally, this is like, before introducing, I just want to say, like, I'm actually delighted with how this course has started. Like, I didn't know if we'd get the commitment or the community. They're the two critical things for transformational learning. And it seems to me we've got both of those. And, you know, the systems, Jake has been really helpful. The systems aren't, you know, nothing's ever perfect, but it's pretty good, especially for a first run at something. And, you know, having kind of taken your money, I'm actually really pleased that, you know, I'm already thinking, all right, with some integrity, even though it's only a month in, this is a good course. This is useful. I kind of thought it would be, but there's a difference between thinking and knowing. So, yeah, super happy that it seems to be working out. Remember, even though it's the end of the Yellow Belt, you don't have to be like fixed in, this is my purpose. That would probably be a mistake. That inquiry continues throughout your life, throughout every moment, you know, and certainly throughout the course. So don't worry if it's not nailed down. You might just have a little signpost, a little nudge, a little smell, something like that. So, yeah, that's that Yellow Belt work. It doesn't really stop. Even though we have these belts, actually, we already started Orange Belt right at the beginning when we talked about trolls. So obviously, Orange Belt is about the psychological blocks. And as you start to unblock them, more Yellow Belt goodness about purpose and direction, strengths, etc., is going to come your way, right? So we're still doing Yellow Belt, and we've already started Orange Belt. We just somewhat artificially have these belts, these segments. There's some idea. It sounded like you really dived into the depth stuff with Frankie. I heard there was poetry and all good stuff on there. Frankie's my beloved training partner. I'll be seeing him most of this week. Yeah, it sounds like you enjoyed that. And before I introduce Dylan, any questions on kind of like what you've been up to so far? How's it been going? Yeah. Anything you want to feed back on, like what was good? Okay, Jamie, that's a nice quote. Catherine, we want that one on the website. If you could, Jamie, if we have permission to use that one. Yeah, riding a bike while sending a rocket to the moon. So riding a bike, you're continuously adjusting rather than kind of doing all the maths and then firing it. Yeah, this idea that, yeah. Anything else you guys want to feedback on the first half of the course, you can email to Catherine. we are, it's the first run, right? So we're definitely going to improve this next year. We're going to improve it as this course goes on for you guys. So really, like, the feedback isn't just like one of those fucking forms you fill out. It's really, really like, this is how we make this better for you and for future people. Yeah. Sounds like the death work was a hit, you morbid lot. Any questions or anything on or feedback on the first part of the course? It's really good to keep hearing from you guys. Great, Valerie, that's lovely to hear. Great, yeah. Okay, Xanthi, it's okay if you're a bit behind. You can come to some deal with Catherine as well. Like what's the really important one? Let's say you got a bit behind, maybe just do one that's really important. And it does chill out a little bit on the homework front for Orange Belt. Yeah. That's cool, man. Just looking at Jamie's comment there. A fallow week between belts. No, we keep the momentum up. Yeah, I kind of get why you'd say that. And we were sort of limited by Christmas this year. It was like we have to have like 4 months before Christmas. So yeah, that would be possible. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, not the first person to ask for like a week off. Yeah, I get it. It's pretty hardcore, huh? Pretty hardcore. Yeah, I'd like a week off. It's not going to happen. I had a really good sense of purpose myself today. I was doing an ebook for the Embodied Facilitator course promo, and I just had a real like nice sense of flow. I like sat down on Sunday. I was like, do I really want to finish this off on a Sunday afternoon? I promised it to Catherine, and I do my homework for Catherine. And I was like, but once I sat down and started doing it, it was just flowing, and I felt good, and I felt energized. And you'll see my Facebook status for an even juicier version of that. But yeah, it was good. Okay, cool. We're going to keep looking at these feedback and do email lists, but I want to introduce Dylan Newcomb. So before I put on the screen, Dylan is a real giant in the embodiment field. So this is my specialism. And I know the best people in the world for this work because I've looked all around the world to find the best people. And Dylan is up there. Dylan is really up there in the top few in the world in the embodiment field. His background is diverse. He was a professional dancer, a lot of kind of movement arts. He really grew up with the arts. He lived in the Netherlands for a long time. He speaks fluent Dutch, which is incredible. I don't know how many Americans speak fluent Dutch. He has, I think Korean is coming along too. His work is profound. It's deep. You're only going to get a taste of it in an hour. You've already kind of had a taste of it because it's an influence on embodiment yoga, which is a big part of the kata you guys have been doing in the morning. So I will invite him onto the screen without further ado. His system's called Uzazu. If you want to find out more after this, you can put something in the group. I'll spell that while we're getting him on the screen. Accepted and connection. Dylan, sir, I want to shut up and just hand over to you. So it's all yours, sir.
Thank you, Mark. Hello, everyone. And you, and you, and you. Yeah, hi. Nice to kind of one way meet you. Hello, thank you for saying hello. It makes me feel like I'm not just making the video recording. I make a lot of video recordings these days. Hi, everyone. Hi, hi, hi. So here we are. So here I am with you. You guys have been here for a little while, so thank you for letting me jump in and be a part of this journey of yours. And thank you, Mark, obviously, for inviting me. I'm honored to be a part of this. And excited to be a part of this. It's kind of funny. Mark reached out to me a number of, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 months before he launched this course because he was thinking of doing something like this. And then I don't know how he found out, but he found out that I'd actually been working on the theme of embodying your purpose for the last 8 months or so. So there's sort of synchronistically, I think Mark and I met. God, what was it, Mark? 8 years ago or so? I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. 7, 8 years ago, yeah. He came to a workshop in Holland when I was still living in Holland. We moved back to the States, my wife and child and I, 6 years ago, after 20 years in the Netherlands. And so anyway, synchronistically, we both sort of started looking at purpose. Coming from the embodiment world, it's easy to get lost in the body. You know, you get in the body and it's like, yeah, the body, and fall in love with that. And it's like, oh, this is wonderful. But then there's the question of great. Now I'm more in my body. What can I do with this? How can I apply this in the world as an embodiment expert, right? You sort of get in that world and then you want to help people take it out more into the world. So I've really, coming from the body, coming from dance and music, I had a laboratory in the Netherlands for, God, 5-6 years, just researching full on the effect of sound and movement on thought, emotion, and behavior. That was after my career in the arts. And it's from that work of researching how sounds, vowel sounds, breath, and movements affect people's thought and emotions and behavior that this modality that I'm going to share a little bit of with you today was born. So it's a research-based modality, although it actually has lots of ties, we realized later, with certain esoteric traditions like the I Ching and chakras and this, that, and the other. But I like to keep it on the front end very, very straightforward in its own mushy, touchy-feely way. I don't know if there's anything else I want to presence. I guess just to sum up the bio part for now, like who am I? I live in Maine now, Maine, United States, with my wife Kyung-sang, who's originally Korean, and our little daughter Kiana, who's 5. And I live in the woods, and I teach mostly online because I want my daughter to be able to grow up in nature like I did. So for this period, I'm here. We used to tour and teach all over the place, but for her childhood, we're here in the woods, and it's awesome. And in a few years, I'm going to start touring and teaching more. Mark's been wanting to bring me out to England for a while, so see if we can make that happen. And so I basically have been creating online courses and coaching people online. And what I've been working on is exactly this, helping people clarify and embody their purpose. So I'm delighted to share where I'm at with it, share some of the stuff that I've been using in my classes and in my coaching with you now. Obviously, it was a short amount of time, so I'll take us right into it and see if we can already do something that might offer another angle, right? You've done lots of different things, and I'm sure you've experienced some things. Certain people went, oh, that really worked for me, and other people went, oh, that one not so much, but this exercise we did, that really worked for you. So here's another thing that you can try and see if that doesn't shed some light on a certain piece of the puzzle, right? Let's take a moment before we do jump in just to center ourselves, come into your own personal here and now, shall we? So just get comfortable in your chair or wherever you are. And just stretch your arms up or out and sort of activate your body a little bit, yeah. Just loose, free form, just sort of use your muscles a little bit, stretch your muscles a little bit, flow your body a little bit. Take some good breaths. If everyone can just check that their mic is muted. Rest. Come to rest and just close your eyes for a moment. Let your breath just be natural. And as you're sitting here, just notice your body. Feel your body. Feel your buttocks on the chair, your clothes on your skin. Notice perhaps any areas of tension you feel in the body or higher energy density. And just letting that be as it is. not needing to change it right now. And one of my personal favorites, notice where it's hard to notice much. Any kind of perhaps blind spots in your body right now. I notice there's an area in my lower abdomen a bit further back that I don't really sense right now. It feels a little vacuous to my awareness. When the mind can kick in sometimes, right? Like, I'm so unaware. Just notice that too if you have any judgments. And then just globally again, just simply being in the presence of your body. And in a moment, in just a moment, I'm going to invite you to open your eyes. And as you do, I want to invite you to prioritize ground zero in your body over anything that appears on the screen of your vision, perhaps me on this video. See if you can stay as present as possible to the feeling of your own body while now letting in the visual of me. On your own time. So right now as you're doing this, you're doing two things. You're tracking me, whatever I'm doing. But at the same time, that feeling in your body. It's a little bit of this. For some people, this is very natural. For some people, they're like, okay, yeah, what's next? For other people, they notice that this is actually surprisingly difficult. That the moment that they put their attention on another thing, particularly another person, they kind of leave their body. They're kind of out there, they're in their mind tracking, and the body becomes kind of a non-event in their awareness. And it's, of course, a little bit different to do this virtually as to do this live. It can be, for some people, a little scary, a little vulnerable, a little to be so present in your own body while presencing another person. So just notice, how is that for you right now? For me, the more explicitly I do this, I notice that it has an effect on my mind. For me, it kind of softens my mind. Because it's like the awareness is now distributed. It's not just in my mind. It's distributed in my mind and my body. It kind of mellows my mind. How's it for you right now to do that more explicitly? And how normal is this for you, and how unusual is this for you? Ah, nice. So people, yeah, I was just going to invite you. Let's take a moment just to type in. How is it for you to be relaxedly present to your own sensations in your body while being present with me here? Uncomfortable, difficult. Feels natural, but definitely unusual. Makes me feel more present, someone wrote. Andy writes, not normal. I normally do either body or outward. Having led God knows how many live movement workshops, I've heard that one a lot. We can get into that space and get into our own body. Maybe, Andy, you're one of those people, if you've done like dancing, that can tend to look down as you do that, or close your eyes when you do that, to sort of be in your body, right? Some people have that. Let me just read some other ones out for us. It feels normal, and I notice when I leave my body, and I notice when I leave my body and go outside. So she's noticing. Oh, right. That's great. That's great. Yeah, and he says, yes, tend to close my eyes a lot to go inward. Yeah. It's kind of hard for me to read these because I keep jumping. I guess that was Mark. Mark, you're writing under Purpose Black Belt, I assume, yeah? So Mark says, I think, yeah. Mark says, I think of interpersonal meditation as harder but vital for life. Yeah, it is. It's an incremental one, because there's the sort of internal first person awareness and sensitivity, and now we're multitasking, right? We're doing that and tracking that. Yeah. In a moment, we're going to apply a version of this to purpose work. Purpose work is, I've been working on this with a lot of people for the last year now, and I want to just start by honoring the complexity of purposeful clarification, if you will. It's really quite an accomplishment, quite a task to start to bring that into conscious clarity. Purpose of all the levels of being, if you will, in my experience, is something that typically operates from the unconscious, operates unconsciously. There's some momentum at play, right? Like if you ask any mother who's had more than 2 kids or more than 1 kid, they'll say, same parents, same house, same whatever. These kids, they come in and they are their own people. They're different, right? Or even twins. Some of my best friends, they were twins. Totally different, right? We come in already for whatever reasons. We won't get, we won't get into that for now, whatever that could be, with a certain momentum, with a certain personality, with certain predilections, certain strengths, certain weaknesses, certain whatevers, right? And then life happens and complicates it in ways both beautiful and sometimes painful, certainly mysterious, and it all enriches the pot, right? And then sometimes we just, in certain periods of your life, you might have felt on purpose. Maybe even you couldn't clarify what that was, but there was a sense of, yeah, this just feels really right, and I'm doing it, and no problem. I would venture that if you're in this course, on some level, it's up for you. It's a question for you there, right? There's this like, wait a minute, what is my purpose? Or how can I live in a way that is more purpose aligned? And for some of you, there's a sense, I would guess there's this, just having, again, worked with lots of people in this field in the last year. Some people, they have a sense of vision and purpose, but it's like, how do I manifest this? How do I work this out? Other people, it's like, I'm doing stuff and maybe it's going well, maybe it's not, but I'm not clear about that greater purpose even. So we're going to be working primarily in that clarifying the purpose rather than the actual implementation of it. And even if you do feel like you have that relatively clear, perhaps what the process we're about to go through can help you either clarify that even more, hone that even more, or connect it more so it's not as much in the level of the mind, perhaps, and so that you can feel it way down into your body even more specifically and even more concretely. Just as in this moment, right, you were present with me when we started, but when you're sensing your body and feeling your body with even more fullness and depth, there's a different kind of presence that often takes that level of extra deep integration takes some getting used to, right? But it affords us so much more to the degree that we have it. Right? All right. So let's jump in. I'd like to start by sharing some slides. This is how it's going to go. I'm going to share some slides, give you a bit of a framework, because purpose, everybody sort of means their own thing with purpose, and I want to clarify what I mean by purpose and how I see it sort of fitting into the larger complex picture of the wholeness of our lives. So it'll be a bit of theory, bit of a model, but the simplest version that I can give you about it, and the simplest I can make it, so it shouldn't be too painful. And even if you kind of tune out and go, I only partly get that, it doesn't matter. Just don't worry about it, because it's not really necessary. It's a nice to have, but not a need to have for the actual embodied part that we're going to do. So I'll do some framing, then we'll do a visualization, sort of a building on what we just did, an embodied visualization. Then we're going to get up and actually do some movement and kind of do like a movement-based assessment of which qualities of embodied being feel most, like they most touch on something more deeply purposeful for you. Like all of the qualities we're going to do have their own usefulness, but which one feels like, that feels like really like me on some level. All right, and then we'll have some time, hopefully, to reflect on that a little bit together. How does that sound? All right. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so good. You see me. Does everybody like see me on one side? I just want to see what you see. Do you see me on this side and then you see my slides on that side? Split screen, yeah, okay, cool. All right. Yeah, okay, great. You see me on the left, yeah. All right, great. So there are my slides. Clarifying purpose, let's go. I like to hold a very simple, I work a lot with polarities, and you'll get to experience some of that today. The simple one we're going to start with is just self and world. And I'm holding them in the sense of relatively inner and relatively outer. So what I mean simply by self and world in this context, just because I'm going to be using it, so we'll get on the same page with it, is your own inner process, your own inner workings, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, everything that happens that leads to that translation of self out into world, and that taking in of world into self, all right? And when we're talking about purpose, I think 90% of the time we're talking, or more, we're talking about something that has very much to do with that synergy, right? Between your internal processes and external processes, and what's the meaningful relation between the two of them, right? And then there's the piece of what's going on in the world, what would I like to see going on in the world? How can I make a difference that feels, you know, good, true, and beautiful to me? And how can my engagement in that also make a difference internally, right? So that something more good, true, and beautiful and meaningful and pleasurable is going on in here, right? We're looking for a synergistic, dynamic flex flow, right? Between our internal processes and self and the external processes in the world, right? So what we're going to do, I just want to quickly frame a kind of a very simple three-tiered model of self and world, so that we can start to clarify when we talk about purpose, what are we talking about, and which parts of ourself, which layers of ourself need to, do we want to involve in which way to help us clarify that purpose and then enact it, all right? So just very, and this is where it gets the sort of quick theory version. Oh, and by the way, I have a 1 hour version of this that explains it in more detail that I'm happy to give you for free right at the end of this. I'll send you the link, and if you feel like, oh yeah, I want more of that, you can just go to that, and then that'll like help you clarify it. And there's a handout there too. So if this feels a little fast, it is. I'm sorry, but I just want to see if we can get a little bit clear first, so that our work with purpose can be more purposeful. All right. So let's look at the world, the 3 layers. I'm just gonna. I mean, there's so many models and ways to slice and dice it. Here's how I find it effective to go mission, systems, and operation. What do I mean by that? Quite simply, for now, mission, right, gives us that motivation. It gives us that greater why. It's our purpose and our vision that helps us see, yes, that's what I want to do. Ideally, that then determines, to the degree that we're integrated, right, and we're leading a purpose-driven life, right, the system, right, systems that we're in, the systems that we're creating, the businesses, the organizations, the social groups, all of the systems, right, are in a coherent and meaningful alignment with our mission, right? We're finding some way, it might not be 100% match, but we're finding a way that within our systems or through our systems, that our mission can have a sense of gradually achieving its fulfillment. Right. And then there's the operation. That's us within the systems, how we're actually showing up moment to moment. That's you doing your tasks. That's you, your productivity, right? Your moment to moment. Are you procrastinating? Are you getting mad all the time? Are you avoiding it? Like, how are you showing up within the various systems in your life, right? I find it very helpful to divide it and to look, wait a minute, what do I need to work on right now? And mission is not always relevant for people. Sometimes it's like, no, I got to just shift my operation and how I'm showing up moment to moment, so I'm not living in as much emergency, and then I have the space to like attend to mission, and then I can afford to like reorganize my systems and my operation. That's a longer discussion. Again, if you want to, if you want to explore that more, I'll give you the link to the free course, but that's the quick version of it. So we're just going to be looking, that's all I'm going to say about that for now. We're going to be looking at mission today, right? But now I want to talk about the inner side of that, right? The self side of that, right? So there's also a very handy, very parallel 3-tiered thing. And again, not again, but I would also like to, just a caveat, it's all fractal and everything's in everything. So this is a vast oversimplification of reality, but a handy one I've found. And it's this, that body, when I say body, there's mind in it, there's awareness in it, but we're talking about the things that you physically do, that you need some concreteness, some embodiment, right? Like I want to do this right now. To do, I can think about drinking, I can have beautiful thoughts and write poems about drinking, but it ain't the same as actually drinking. So that's what I mean by body. It involves the concrete and physical, right? Of course, the mind is intimately involved in it, right? I had to think about how to do that. Mind, pontification, ideation, perspective taking, meaning making, right? Designing, plan making, evaluating, all of those things, right, that are predominantly mind. We do them embedded into our bodily actions moment to moment, and then we can sort of take a break from more explicit activity and just reflect, right? And then you can write as you reflect or type as you reflect. So there's a modicum of body in there, right? These days there's like, as we get more and more mind-centric, technology sort of replaces the body in many ways and allows us to do a minimum of body work, right? And a maximum of mind work, which is why niches like Mark and I's evolve, right? Where they're like, we need some embodiment experts to rebalance this thing, right? Yeah. Technology is largely replacing our need for physical work, right? Yeah, Mark says, yeah, I have a job. But it is interesting to reflect, isn't it, Mark, how like 1,000 years ago, like with the rice paddy workers going, we need an embodiment expert. I'm feeling disembodied.
Yeah, I think it's kind of amazing I have a job, but it's because it wouldn't have existed in the past. And so sometimes I say my dream, like my purpose, is my grandchildren don't understand why I had a job.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so body, mind. Now, awareness holds all that. Awareness holds all that, right? When you go, oh, I'm thinking a lot, or oh, I'm running, who is that I that's aware of the thinking, of the running, of the feeling, of the contraction, of the right? I can try this for a moment. Just take your hands and just make a fist as much as you can for a moment. Close your eyes. Keep it. Feel that sensation. Just be with it for a moment. Stay with it. And release. While you were doing that, if you were doing it really hard and listening to it, there wasn't so much room for thoughts about it. You might have had a few, but the body was so generating so much sensation that there wasn't so much room for evaluating, thinking, perspective taking, meaning making, right? Sensation in the body was primary, but you were aware of it, weren't you? You were aware of it. Meditation, things like this, allow us to take perspective of mind. Anyway, that's a long discussion, but I just want to frame this body-mind awareness. Sometimes, as I said, sometimes we need to focus more on our operations, sometimes more our mission, sometimes more our systems. Same thing here. Sometimes we need to really like get into the body and activate it more. Great that Mark is having you all do a kata, and I heard someone reporting that that's been a game changer. Right? Again, in our technological society, the body doesn't get as much action as it might want often. Mind tends to be overactive for so many of us, right? For some people, they go to meditation, really helps them to take some of the pressure off the mind. And some people go more into the physical, right? Ideally, balancing these three, so it gives us that flow that's so helpful on so many levels. And I'm trying to take a much longer thing and condense it down, but here's where we're going with this and why I've taken the time to do this. What I have found is that indeed these levels of body-mind awareness parallel these levels of operation, systems, and mission. And time and again, when it comes to mission, the thing that I find people doing and making it difficult for themselves, if you will, is trying to clarify their mission from their mind. They're trying to think their way into a clear and motivating mission that feels right. Somebody just said, shit. That's a good realization. What happens when you try to do that? When you try to think your way into clarity of a motivating mission, right? I must work it out. Well, even if you decide on something, what tends to happen is if it's been crafted from the craftiness of mind, we're not 100% bought in with it. We doubt it. We've sold ourselves something, and we're not sure if we've, talked ourselves into it. And chances are we have talked ourselves into it. Now, maybe we got lucky to a degree, and our mind was unconsciously or consciously in cahoots and in alignment with our awareness and our body, right? So it's coming from a relatively integrated mind. And so that worked. But to the degree that the mind was operating in fair isolation of its body and its awareness, right? And saying, it's that, right? At some level, we're going to have that. We're going to say, okay, but we're not going to fully trust it. Does anybody have that? That they come up with something that they think, yeah, that's my mission, but then they're plagued by doubt? Yeah, people are saying yes every time. Yes. Okay, right. Okay. Just move your body a little bit. Just shake. Shake it out. What I want to do is I want to dive a little bit into mission, look at that, and dive a little bit into awareness, and look at how then can we hold an awareness that it can allow the mission to come into a present clarity. It can allow the mission to become clear. That's what we're going to work on today, okay? So first, let's just start with mission. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we've got a lot to do, but mission, we're going to bring it, I said polarities. Here's the next wave of polarities. I want to differentiate just quickly. Like, again, I refer you to the mini course because I'll try to keep this very brief. I want to differentiate purpose from vision for a moment with you, yeah? Because what I find is A, it's very helpful to differentiate them, and B, a lot of people have them intertwined. When I say purpose, I don't mean vision. What I mean by that is, trying to think of a good example first. A vision is something you see. It's an image of something. It appears on the screen of your awareness in a certain area of the world, right? It's kind of a domain. Like a vision plays out in the field of children's health, women's empowerment, animal care, making a lot of money and having a huge house, right? Whatever it is, it's an area that you're excited about, right? That you can start to see it in different ways. Then exactly what you do with it, what's different about what you do as opposed to other people, let alone putting it into the systems and the operation of how I'm gonna get there, right? The whole practicality of it, right? A vision has a where to it. Yeah, it has a there to it, right? Purpose, in the way I'm holding it, is something deeper, okay? By purpose, I mean, like a vision board, yes. By purpose, I mean that quality, it's more ephemeral, the quality of being, yeah? Both can be in the world, in yourself, but a quality of being that is, for whatever reasons, personality-wise, karmic-wise, God only knows, is meaningful to you. That would make your soul sing. That quality of being that if you are able to devote yourself to it, and that were to be amplified, you would feel that yes. Right? Now, but what do I mean by that? For some people, and I've done this work with a lot of people, like for some people, if through realizing that vision, they could experience groundedness and a sense of security and care, and that would be like, then they just feel like, yes, then I would be at peace. Then I could die peacefully. For other people, it's like, freedom, I just like, there's something in them that has experienced this in either ancestrally or karmically or in their early childhood or their parents were plagued by it. It's just meaningful for them, like liberation, freedom, exploration, possibility. Like it could be a vision here, it could be a vision there, but if it brings that, again, they're at peace. Right? So a vision is a kind of a what, where, whereas a purpose is the deeper why. Why? What is that quality that brings? So and some people it's easier for them to tune into that sense of quality, and then start to vision what would bring me that sense of quality. Where would I like to explore how that can be cultivated? Other people, they get to this. It's kind of in dreams, in visions, in conversations, through seeing something and getting inspired and going, I think there's something there for me. And then reflecting, why am I excited about that? Why does that keep coming back to me, right? Ideally, you want to have clarity, conscious clarity. That's very aligned on both of those levels. And it's those things together, the what, where, why, right, that gives one a fully motivating mission, right? And that's what we want. We want a motivating mission instead of a confusing mission, or either a vague mission or a mission that we're not quite sure about, right? Okay. Is that making sense for people, right? That sense of differentiating, the usefulness of differentiating vision from purpose. Often, again, we just hold both of them within purpose, right? My purpose. I find a skillfulness in differentiating them, right? Because, as I said, you don't always get them both in one fell swoop. Sometimes you tune into the why and you can let that inform the what, where. And sometimes, very often, we get the what, where, but we need to take that time to really ground into the deeper why. And here, oh, good, people are saying yes. Now, purpose is bigger than vision. Oftentimes, we start with a certain vision, right? But by deducing or inducing, sorry, the why from that, the deeper why, and really clarifying that, and then embodying it, really feeling it, then actually we realize when we come back to the vision that our vision might have been a bit off, or it might be not appropriate for this stage of your life. Like, that might have been a vision from your 20s, and you're still holding on to it because unconsciously there was something in there that tweaked your purpose. That's why you're so excited about it. But maybe it's not how it wants to play out in this stage of your life. My 20s, I was a dancer, I was a composer, I was an artist. It was perfect. It was the way for me to fulfill my purpose. So I had all my visions were like art pieces and this and that. But then that totally shifted. It was no longer appropriate for the stage of my life to be playing it out that way. Fortunately, I had been through meditation and through reflection and stuff. I had a clear why. So when this shifted, I was like, oh, I'm still on purpose. This is still my purpose. It's just the what, where is totally changing. Totally changing. Is this making sense for people? Is it similar to the differentiation that was made by Nick Yenica between life purpose and leadership purpose? I'm not familiar with how he's holding leadership purpose. For me, actual leadership is one level down into the actual system. It's the head of how I'm holding it, the head of the system, and starting to organize the path. The next level below this is pathway, which is how we're going to get there. Who am I going to work with? How is this going to happen? What's the developmental journey of manifesting the vision? But the way he's holding it, it could very well incorporate vision. I mean, leader is holding a vision, absolutely, and then brings it into the system. Okay. Now, good. So that's that. Now I want to go to awareness for a moment. If we look at awareness, I'm gonna do the same polarity dance here with, well, not dance yet, unfortunately, we're just talking about. Hopefully we'll have some time to dance. Presencing versus embracing. Now, these are a little more, huh? What do you mean by that? So I'll fill that in. Presence, something is present in our awareness. I mean that in the broadest sense. We did it when we close our eyes. You did it just at the beginning of this call. You close your eyes and I said your butt on your chair. That became present in your awareness, right? That this experience of your butt on the chair, the experience of the clothes on your skin. You're present to me right now. Right? To the degree that you've got some emergencies going on in your life, they're like continually present, right? When all of a sudden something plays up, or maybe you've got a neck that, when the vertebrae goes out in your neck, it's pretty present, right? Pretty ongoing. Or when you've got a bill that you're not sure how you're going to get it friggin' paid this month, right? It nags in your mind. It's continually present, reminding you, right? Or when you have a 5.5-year-old that is tired or hungry, they make themselves very present in your awareness. Believe me. So yeah, what is presence? And it's how you presence it, right? How do you hold what's present in your awareness? This is where we get up to the next level. How do you hold it, right? I call it embracing. In its ideal form, so to speak, right? We embrace what is present in our awareness. Do we hold it in a way that is soft, loving, compassionate, caring, curious, right? That allows it to be present, right? We talk about things like numbing, repression, right? Distortion, projections, shadow material. These are all very intimately related, right? With the capacity of our awareness to embrace all that is, right? And allow it to be present. And how is it presencing it? Now, there is no it, and that's a lot of the big insight and gift of embodied neurocognitive science as opposed to just cognitive science, right? We say, no, our body-mind actually creates in a way, it co-creates with reality to serve it up to in our awareness, right? There is no a rose is a rose is a rose, right? Gertrude Stein, right? There isn't just a purely abstract bottle, right? It's a subject-object dance, right? So I am presencing it. And that's a lot of what we talk about, taking responsibility for your own experience, right? Is acknowledging it. No, you are presencing this, how this is arising, right? You're creating that. So, well, you're co-creating how it's served up to your awareness, right? So that's a whole skill set, right? And that's some of what we work with. Well, different traditions work with it in different ways. I work with it in certain ways with Uzazu, of how to hold an awareness, right, that can embrace, right, more and more of the fullness of reality, of your own reality of the world, and then serve that up and presence it within your awareness in a way that you can skillfully presence it and interact with it, right? So to the degree that, now let's bring this home, to the degree that we are able to embrace and presence what the truth, a fuller and fuller truth of our being. We're dealing with embodying your purpose, right? So I have to talk in grand terms. Presence the fullness of our being, right? Then the essence of that, the feeling of that, we can say, we can let purpose, right, become clear from that. To the degree that I'm in it, thinking about it and trying to, to sort of jerry-rig together, something that feels like, yeah, that'll get me there. Well, yeah. My mind has taken over the show, Jamie says. Yeah, more organic. It's more organic. Yeah, yeah. It's more and more true to. On the bottom here, this is the first time I use this Crowdcast interface, and it says "Get something nice, say something nice." And I thought that Brad had just said "say something nice," but it was actually the system wanting me to say something. Okay, so here we go. A lot being said. I hope that helps, right? So we want this awareness. This is my last point. We want an awareness that is spacious, as opposed to an awareness that is clouded. To the degree that we are embedded, enmeshed in our thinking and in our feelings, in our body, in our emotions and in our actions and in our thoughts and our judgments and our this and our that, our awareness is clouded. To the degree that we can be the spaciousness that embraces and presences, right? Then we're not we're not a prisoner in a way, in part, to our thoughts and our feelings and our actions, right? We are a compassionate witness, right, to them and co-creator with them. Okay. Right. So when Mark makes a video software system, it's going to say "fucking say something." Good. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Right. So from a spacious awareness, we have a motivating mission, as opposed to a clouded awareness creating a confusing mission. Clear. We've sort of covered that. All right, do I want to get into this? Yeah, I did. There's one last thing I want to say before we jump into a little process here, okay? Which is simply that in my experience, it's going to be different for different people. In my experience, a mission, a purpose, once we're presencing and letting it come into a sense of mission, that a really motivating purpose is some balance. It's different for different people, also different phases of their life. Some balance of their natural gifts, talents, strengths, zone of genius, and that which the future is calling them to step into, right? We're all evolving and we want to be part of like life is evolution, right? And so to the degree that we're in that evolution, that we're a part of that evolution is moving through us in the way that it's wanting to move through us, right? That's always some dynamic synergy of that which we've already got and can do. And that's what we're growing into. And that's what we're helping the world grow into, right? Both in self and in world, right? And so it's easy for us sometimes to go, oh, I just want to play to my strengths. I just want to play to my strengths. And then we get a little bit bored sometimes. It's easy, right? And sometimes we go like, oh, I need to be more this. I need to be more that, right? And so we put ourselves too far outside of our strengths, and then we're just overwhelmed, right? And we feel terrible about ourselves, and we make generally do a bad job of it. It's funny, I noticed start to lapse into a semi-English accent, knowing that there's a lot of English people out there. The polarity within a dynamic purpose, right? So we want to be in some balance, coming from a place of strength and joy, and having a mission and putting that in a system that allows us the opportunity to share and to learn and grow at the same time. So part of what I do when I work with people is we identify, okay, what are these sort of natural gifts, and what are the things that in this lifetime or in this stage in your life you're most wanting to integrate? And what's the balance of those things, and how is that present in your purpose and in your mission, and how is that going to play out in the details of your systems and your operations? So I invite that we don't have time to go too deep into that, but I wanted just to see that in your awareness and invite you to play on with that, right? What's the balance that will serve you now, and to reflect perhaps on what has been your tendency. We can do that right now, really simply. What's the tendency for yourself to do you tend to want to just play to your strengths and then like keep your weaknesses out there? Or do you tend to like, obsess about your I'm not good enough about this, I'm not good enough about that, and not honor your strengths? Say something nice. Play to strengths, play to strengths. Obsess about weaknesses. Good, we have some variety. Swing between the two, okay, yeah. Think back. Have you had a moment? Have you had a where you were in a certain job or in a certain role that you felt really actually was a really in that sweet spot of both, where you're both good at what you did, but it was also causing you to grow and learn in ways that were really important for you? Because those tend to be like some of our best periods in life, don't they? Yeah. So that's just something to attend to. What does that want to be right for you at this time in your life? Oh, and last thing about that, the way that I slightly said it before, but I want to emphasize that the vision, how that appears, where it's appropriate for you to play it out, is really dependent on your stage in life. There is no one mission, right? That can play out in various ways, and it's part of our work here is to really hold this in the context of where am I at in my life right now, and what does that mean about how I'm able to sense my purpose, how I'm interpreting my purpose, right? And where it's appropriate for me to play that out at this stage in my life. And to respect that, because it's oftentimes people get an answer and they'll be like, yeah, but will it always be this way? No, but if it feels like a fit for you at this stage of your life, then that's really all you need, isn't it? Okay. Good. Break. Let's take a 30-second break. 45 seconds. I'll give you 45 seconds. Just shake your body. Take a drink of water. You don't have to stand up if you don't want. I'm going to sit down in a moment. If I talk too long, I can kind of just like. All right, let's start to, wherever you went or didn't go, start to bring it back in. All right. How's everybody doing? How are you feeling right now? wondering, excited, focused. Mind overworked. Sorry if I was, as I said, I was trying to scrunch a lot into a small amount of time. Yeah, a bit stressed out by the speed. Yeah, sorry about that. I am trying to cram a lot into a short time. I'll give you the link. You know what? Because I can tend to forget these things, and I really don't want to forget this. There's the link, which is me taking more time and hopefully stretching it out less. All right. So here's my sense of it, because good, this is fun. This is Brad. Great, and Mark's gonna put that link on Facebook too. Thank you, Mark. And because I could have just launched us into movement right from the get-go, but I chose to take the time to give that bit of framework because I feel that it is so important to just clarify for ourselves, what is it that I need from my sense of purpose right now? Right? What do I need it to be for me? What do I not need it to be for me? And at the end of the day, I believe that on the level of purpose, all that we need is a clear feeling. We just need a clear feeling. We don't need it to be aware what. We just need a sense of what is that feeling, that if I had that feeling, right, I would feel deeply rewarded. Right? And I know we're brought up in a modern society where we think a lot and we're taught to think a lot, and everything sort of primes that in us, right? And I'm talking about something more ephemeral than that, something more awareness embodied than just mind. So what I'd like to do is spend the rest of the time just holding space together, giving you an opportunity to take a first pass, just starting to listen into what is that feeling for you, you know, what comes there. Yeah, great. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to guide us in a little meditation, and we're going to start with awareness. Then I'm going to guide you into taking what comes in your awareness through this process into your into a sense of purpose and the feeling of that. And then I'll ask you a few questions about it. Yeah, and then just give you some ideas from there, some hints from there about how you might work further with that. Okay, here we go. So let's just sit. Close our eyes. And just take a deep breath in and let it go. And again, deep breath in and let it go. I'm going to do this a few more times. Now take a deep breath in, but scrunch your fists and your shoulders and your torso. Contract, contract, squint your face. Exhale slowly, let it all go. Again, slower inhale, gradually scrunch. Scrunch everything. Scrunch your hands, your feet, your face. Gradually let it go. Exhale. One more time, and as you do this, relax your whole mind with it. Inhale, scrunch. Exhale slowly and let your mind just let go as well. Rest your hands, rest your mind. And just breathe. And let yourself just settle into awareness. Just holding space. Notice your body. Notice the quality of energy or the feeling tone in your body right now. Notice if when you notice your body that you start to have lots of thoughts about that, either reacting to it or trying to analyze it or wonder, or if you just feel simply the quality, just a presencing of the sensation. See what it is to just let the sensation be the sensation. And now more explicitly holding space for the mind. What does that mean? Awareness that thinking is taking place. If a thought happens, just notice, thinking. What would you say is the quality of your mind right now? Is it fast? Is it anxious? Is it slow? Is it having pleasant thoughts, unpleasant thoughts? Positive excitement, irritated confusion? Just notice the quality of the thinking. And just being with the quality of the thinking. And now, we're going to go just into the awareness itself. Just notice that you're noticing. You've been noticing your body, you've been noticing your thoughts. Just notice how you're noticing. As if you found at nighttime outside, you were walking around with a flashlight and you found a car in a parking lot. And that car is your body and your mind. And then you shine this flashlight out into the sky, away from the car, up into the heavens, and say, what's this space around this car? Likewise, direct your awareness outward to that which is holding body and mind. This is literally the highest level of self, just awareness. We talk about our higher self as this source of wisdom, as this deeper knowing. Has this capacity somehow to know what's true, good, and beautiful without really rationalizing and thinking about it. Somehow, wisdom is contained in awareness itself. That's a thought. But just feel. Feel the goodness of this awareness. What is? Now we'll go one step deeper. What is the quality of this awareness for you? I'm going to ask you some questions to help you tease out the quality of the awareness itself that you're sensing. The quality of you, because it's a little different for each person. The quality of your higher awareness right now, your highest awareness that you can sense, whatever that is. Does it have a quality of brightness or more darkness? Just intuitively, just feel it. Feel it, see it, whatever. Does it feel more bright or more dark? You don't have to type that in. You can keep your eyes closed. Just notice. Does it feel more gentle or more powerful and strong? Sensitive, gentle, receptive, or more strong and powerful? Or some combination of both? Again, we're going beyond mind, so just let your mind soften and just allow yourself to just notice these things, just intuitively. Is the awareness more receptive and gentle, sensitive, or is it more strong, powerful? Next question, does your awareness seem like sensual or touchy, warm, cozy, connective? Or does it feel more clean, crisp, clear, and discerning? In other words, is this awareness that naturally is gifted at snuggling reality and cozy, knuff is snuggling it, a cozy, loving way? Or is a sense of clean, clear, discerning, sharp awareness? These are not usually questions you ask yourself, but just notice what comes as I ask them. It's interesting, isn't it, to tune into this and notice this. I have 2 more questions. Is your awareness, does it feel like it holds and wants to hold your body and mind in a very open, expansive way? Or a more stable, held, supportive way? This is an important one. How does your awareness feel like it's naturally wanting to hold your mind-body in an open, free, expansive way, giving it ever more space? Or more held and closed, stable and supportive? Again, it doesn't have to be 100% one or 100% the other, but just notice that polarity. And you can even, maybe some of you even are trying out, oh, what happens when I allow my awareness to be very open and free and expansive? Does that feel like, yes? Or when you hold it more, like allow your awareness to really be more firmly supportive and stabilizing of your mind-body. Does that feel like, oh, yes? Last one. Before I ask this last question, I just want to, while your eyes are still closed, while you're still focused, I know it's a deep concentration to ask you to hold, but we're almost done. Why are we doing this? Why are we trying to differentiate the quality of the awareness that's there? Because that quality of awareness is going to tell you a lot about, it's going to be information that's going to feed into your sense of deeper purpose. Don't try to jump there too quick in our mind, but we're going to be able to transfer this in a very useful way across. So last question, here we go. Just again, relax the mind, relax into your awareness. Does your awareness feel like it wants to be held in a loose way that holds not just your local self and your immediate environment, but holds a very large environment, perhaps a whole culture or the world or some larger system? Does it feel, yes, that's where it wants to hold. That's where it wants to hold. Or does your awareness feel most comfortable, more local, more tightly held around you and your immediate environment? Neither one being better than the other. Let's try those out. Allow your awareness, right, to expand, to hold everything. For some, that's a relief. For others, that creates anxiety. And then draw your awareness in just to hold you and your immediate environment. For some, that feels constricting. For others, that feels much more comforting. Okay, and when you're ready, just let it go. And open your eyes, shake out your body, take a drink of water. All right, thank you. And Mark, I'm so sorry. I'm going to need 2 more minutes. Is that okay?
Literally 2. Literally 2. Cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's review. Let's review. If you have a piece of paper handy or something that you can just quickly write on, here's what, or I'll just put it in the chat. So the first one we did was, I said, was it more receptive or strong, right? The second one that I said was it more warm and connecting or refined and discerning, right? The third one I asked, was it more open and free, right? Or was it more containing and supportive, what your awareness wants it to be? And the fourth one I asked was it more local and immediate, right? Or global and let's just say wide. And I just misspelled immediate. Yeah. Take a brief note of that for yourself, and you can do it in just a moment. And then what I invite you to do, we've got a short amount of time right here, and you know, to give you the whole prep and to do this exercise, I realize it's a lot to fit in a short amount of time, so I apologize for that. But I hope that this already will give you something to start to play with. And what I want to say is, with these, just in the amount of time we have now, is with those qualities, okay? Those qualities, for very many people, are the qualities that they are looking to experience. How your awareness is naturally trying and wanting to hold your mind and body, right, is what it's trying to cultivate, what it's wanting for you. If I say it in a sort of a transpersonal sense, the more you can align, right, your mission, systems, and operations, the more can align your doing in the world with how your awareness is naturally, what your awareness is wanting. I know it's kind of weird to think of your awareness wants something, right? You are a certain being, right? And the quality of your awareness is the greatest level of the specificity of your being. Your awareness is different than your awareness is different than your awareness, right? So the more you can sense into what's the quality of my awareness, how am I wanting, apparently, how is my being, my consciousness wanting to hold my mind body, align your purpose with those qualities. Let that inform your purpose. Let that inform your vision, right? And that way your life will be in harmony, right, with the way that your highest self is naturally trying to be attuned to and trying to create alignment through your whole being. That's the quick version. So they map onto the quality of being a purpose. Yes, yes. Sorry if I did not make that clear. Good question and confirmation, Andy. Exactly. So I'm saying take those qualities that you got out of this exercise and let them be sort of seed qualities that you can start to play around with to clarify the qualities of your purpose.
Dylan, thank you very much. Profound as ever, sir. I do want to keep a promise to finish here on time. So if there's anything you want to send out to people, send to Catherine, and she can send it to the whole group.
Sure, I'll just send this with the qualities of those polarities, so people have a more.
This piece of paper I've been working with for years. This stuff is really deep. You can really go into it. And if there's any kind of video of some of the Uzazu stuff as well you want to send around, I think that's really helpful too. If there's any sort of basic introductory video on YouTube or whatever, if people want to kind of play with it more spaciously.
Yeah, I guess what people might not be aware of, what we should probably say just is that right now I was just presencing these qualities. What we do in Uzazu is we have specific sounds and movements to fully embody each of those kind of qualities that we were talking about, so that people can then take those qualities and feel them more fully in their being.
Okay, cheers, Dylan. I'm going to take you off the screen now, so I want to say a couple of things to wrap up.
Thank you, everybody. Great to be with you. You know, I'll be monitoring this Facebook group over the next few days. So if people have questions for me or follow-up things, just put them in the Facebook group, and I'll return.
Cheers, man. Okay, everybody, so the new Orange Belt, the first Orange Belt kind of piece of coursework is out now, I believe. And it's a bit less hardcore than previous weeks. So you're not going to get exactly a week off, but it's pretty, it's much shorter. The main thing, there's a little reflection on blocks and barriers, and to get someone to copy your embodiment. So we're working with Dylan here on a really kind of profound, you know, I know some of you feeling a bit confused or it can seem abstract. That takes it really to the concrete, like looking at someone standing like you stand or walk like you walk is the exercise. That's all on there. I'm doing a call with you guys on Wednesday as well. So it's our bi-weekly Wednesday call. And I'm going to be looking kind of very concretely, very pragmatically at embodiment. I think it'll be a nice balance. So yeah, that's 7 o'clock Wednesday. And normally Wednesdays are fairly small groups. So we'll have time to look at some quite embodiment of quite specific things. So that's Wednesday. Hope to see you there, guys. A very pragmatic, kind of concrete kind of look at embodiment. So yeah, cool. Have a great week, guys. I'll see you guys on the group. Catherine and I will be deep in EFC from Thursday through Sunday, so we're probably going to be more responsive the first half of the week, just to kind of let you guys know that we're going to be like deep in an EFC module. Yeah, so I will see you on the Facebook group, and I'll see you guys Wednesday night if you want to look at another kind of take on embodiment. Okay, cheers guys, take care.